Fishyaker.com, the original kayak rigging video series.
Hi, I'm John Oast from Fishyaker.com with my buddy John Blair. We were just talking a little while ago about, the big debate going on right now between pedal kayaks, paddle kayaks, and powered kayaks being ones that are motorized. Right now, recently, Old Town came out with a Predator XL with their MK package, which is a Minn Kota package. So a number of years back, the Ocean Kayak, which is also a Johnson Outdoors company, came out with a Torque. So this is in that same kind of series that Johnson Outdoors has, trying to integrate those Minn Kota and Humminbird products into their boats. So the question is really what's best, or is one better than the other, whether you want to have a motor on a kayak or if you want to go with pedal drive or a paddle. Which one's best for what you do?
Yeah. Pretty cool contrast here because John has got the XL, and I'd like to see myself as more of a paddler. I've been paddling all my life in canoes. I think my next paddle will probably be a Greenland paddle. So the motorized thing has never really been a thing for me. I've never really tried out the pedal drive so much. So I guess I could talk a little bit about which situation is best for which kayak.
It doesn't really mean that one's necessarily better than another. It really depends on what kind of performance you want. If you figure if you have a pedal drive or a motor drive, you're probably going to draw more water on it. So you might not want to use it in really shallow water, flats, rocky bottoms. Yeah, so really that's a factor in itself, just with the draft of the boat. But if you have like more current conditions or deeper water, or you're trolling, or you want to hold your grounding current, and you have enough draft for a pedal drive or a motor drive, that they really can be beneficial.
I think the weight is a big difference here too. Like I do a lot of camping, and sometimes I go fish by myself. So I need a lighter kayak that I can pull off my car on my own, and I can drag up over the land, over railroad tracks. And if I have a big kayak with a motor, it's not going to be the easiest thing for me. Now, if I were out in the ocean or in a big lake, maybe it would be good to have a motor, because if I was in a bad situation, probably it's better to have multiple ways to travel. So,
yeah. So weight's obviously a factor. So if you're trying to make the choice of which type of boat to go with, obviously if you're using a paddle kayak, it's probably gonna be a little bit lighter. You don't have the mechanisms for the pedal drives or the motor and battery, which is that much more heavy. So when you start getting down to carrying a motor and a battery, you may not be as comfortable car topping it. You may want to, trailer it. But then again, a lot of the kayaks are getting bigger and wider and longer anyway. So having a trailer is beneficial whether you want all that extra or not. But like you're saying, access to the water, are you porting it a lot when you're on the water, portaging, or are you simply, launching it and coming back to the same access point? Like I said, if you got enough water to do it in, or like in the Predator XL, you can actually raise and lower the motor, which is really beneficial, as opposed to some other ones where it's in a stationary position if you got a motor.
Well, what about age as a factor? A lot of people that are commenting on the difference or the versus here, it's a whole span of different ages. So someone my age, I'm 28 years old, I've been paddling for a while, but I can go out and paddle all day and not really have it affect me, whereas a senior guy who doesn't want to give up the sport, it might be easier for him to have a motor, so.
Our buddy Frank Patla, who's been in some of the Fishyaker.com videos, he has a Torque. He loves that boat to death. I know he's talking about possibly getting an XL too, because, he's got a little bit more age, may have some health conditions, something like that. It's beneficial for someone like that. Again, you still have to get the weight of the boat to the water and back onto a trailer or whatever you're doing with it. But once he's on the water, he knows he doesn't have to worry about it because he's, stick it in the drive and go.
Awesome. So that should clarify up the argument for a little bit.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, shoot it to us. Like we said, pedal versus paddle versus motor. It doesn't mean one's better than another. Each one serves a different purpose better. The scenario I give you, if you're asking, should I have a motorized kayak, is, well, if you have a big yard, would you rather mow it with a riding lawnmower or push lawnmower? You may want to ride the lawnmower just for the comfort and access of it. If you're looking at it as a kayak, as a fishing platform, as opposed to a standard classical kayak, it's a boat, it's a fishing platform. So if you're looking at pedal drives, again, you look at a pedal drive or a motor drive, you're going to more, see a more hands-free form of fishing, where you can actually, you have more time with your rod in your hand as opposed to a paddle in your hand. So there's pros and cons for all these different ones. And depending on what area you're fishing in, what kind of water you're in, and what kind of fishing you're doing for trolling or whatever, it's beneficial. Or if you have any type of health concerns, it may be a big factor too.
Yeah, so no one style is really better than the other. It's based on preference and situation.
Yeah. So again, shoot us a line if you got any questions or comments. And as always, please subscribe to the Fishyaker YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and we'll catch you on the water. Thanks for watching.